Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Dr. Amal from City Skin Clinic, and today I'm going to have a chat with you about different treatments for dark patches on your body. This video came because quite a lot of you have been requesting information about the best treatments for getting rid of dark patches, hyperpigmentation on the body. And this was following the hyperpigmentation and tretinoin video that we've done, which were more geared for the face and the neck. So I'm going to cover a range of treatments, both professional and at home, that can work on dark patches on the skin, on the rest of your body. This is a problem that affects people of color more, and so all of the treatments that I'm going to mention, they can work on everyone, but they specifically are safe and effective to use in the skin of color. So before we get started, if you're new to our channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel also if you haven't done so already, and thank you so much for all your support. So let's get started. What causes dark patches of skin? So when I'm talking about this in terms of dark patches of skin on the body, the most common places tend to be the elbows, the knees, sometimes the feet, but it's really elbows and knees. Sometimes people have hyperpigmentation in places like the neck or on the belly or on the back. So it can be a range of places. The most common reason this happens is actually places like the knees and elbows, where you're always leaning on them. That is kind of trauma, and when you have trauma in a part of your body, melanocytes respond to that and deposit more melanin, and so you can have hyperpigmentation. This is a similar process, or it's not so dissimilar to hyperpigmentation that's caused by picking at spots or after something like a strong acid that maybe pushes your skin too much, a chemical peel where your skin's not prepared. So skin of color is particularly sensitive to this, and so this is something that most people, even I, have experienced in the past. These are kind of the best known at home and in clinic treatments that will help with that. Before I get started though, there are a few things to note about kind of dark patches of skin and the causes of that. The most causes, like I said, it's trauma, it's kind of natural, maybe it's sun exposure. But there are certain things where this could be a sign of an underlying illness. So there's a condition called acanthosis nigrans, and that is really dark, thick, scaly skin, often in areas like the neck, maybe the arms, maybe around the belly, maybe the armpits, or around the neck are the most common places for it, but you can get it in other parts of the body, and that can be an underlying sign of diabetes. It could be an underlying sign of sort of steroid use, or other hormone problems and diseases. Also during pregnancy, where there's hormonal changes, you may get dark patches such as on the belly, in the linea alba, which is that kind of line kind of down the belly, from the belly button all the way down to your kind of pubic region. Those areas start to get darker, things like the belly button. So and you may get melasma, or in that case in pregnancy it's called cloasma. So things like that, it's actually not really necessary to treat the dark skin patches. You just need to treat the underlying conditions. In pregnancy, when the pregnancy is finished and the hormones stabilize, then usually that's gone. If it's not, you can try treatments. If it's due to diabetes or an underlying disease, then obviously treat that. And then the other big one, if you have a large irregular dark patch of skin somewhere, please also just make sure that it's looked at, especially if it's new, because that could be a sign of melanoma, and melanoma can affect everyone regardless of your skin tone or your age, so it's really important to also keep that in mind. So treatments. So professional treatments that are good for getting rid of dark skin, getting rid of dark patches of skin or hyperpigmentation in the body, to be honest, are not too dissimilar to the treatments you would use on the face. So the first professional treatment that's really effective is chemical peels, professional chemical peels. Usually a course of peels is needed, and that can treat specific areas in there. The other one that works similar to chemical peels by resurfacing the skin is laser. So again, a course of laser treatments, and the right laser has to be picked for your skin, but that can also really help brighten those dark areas. So those are the two really big, it's chemical peels or laser treatment, and those can suit any skin tone. And if you see a doctor, an aesthetic doctor or a dermatologist, they can help you choose the one that is best for your needs. The other thing that could be really useful is either alongside these treatments or on its own, depending on where the dark patches are, what kind of outcome you're looking for and how quickly, is prescription skin treatment. So the two big ones that can help are tretinoin, surprise, surprise, and hydroquinone, and often used together. These two can be used for targeted areas. If obviously it's a really large area, like somewhere on, let's say, the belly or the back, it may not be that useful, but if it's specific areas or small patches, then topical treatments like tretinoin and hydroquinone. Hydroquinone is a pigment suppressor and tretinoin helps resurface the skin, and both of these can help with hyperpigmentation. They're both prescription only products, and if you're using them for areas in the body, it really will depend. If it can't be a very large area, because you, particularly with hydroquinone, there is a limit to the dose that should be safe and how long you can use it for. So those are two things that may be considered either by themselves or alongside a course of chemical peels or laser therapy, and these can help. The other thing that everyone has been asking is, what can you do at home to help with these? Well, there is good news. There are a number of skincare ingredients that can be really useful and that can help improve, lighten these kind of dark patches, and you can use them safely and effectively at home. So the number one I would say is probably arbutin. Arbutin works a lot like hydroquinone in that it suppresses some of the melanin. So if you're using it in a hyperpigmented region, it's a really good product to use. It's much safer to use than hydroquinone, and that's why you can find it over the counter. So arbutin is a great product and it works on all skin tones. You may want, particularly if you have kind of medium to darker skin, you may also want to combine it with something. So if the hyperpigmentation is quite severe, as long as you don't have sensitive skin, you can combine it with something like using retinol as well. So retinol over the counter is extremely good, it's extremely useful. And remember, I mentioned professionally that combination of tretinoin and hydroquinone were kind of a magic duo. Arbutin and retinol can also do a really good kind of at-home alternative to that. Vitamin C, again, is a fantastic skin brightening agent. So if you want to use it on dark patches to try and even out your skin tone and make sure that maybe your knees are not too dissimilar to your legs or whatever, then adding vitamin C. So maybe you use arbutin and the retinol in the evenings, and you use you use vitamin C in the mornings, or you can mix them around. So that's a really good combination. Azelaic acid is another really good product that you can use. Again, good to use on all skin tones. So azelaic acid and retinol together are a really fantastic combination. And what you can do is, if you have particularly severe skin patches, so you can use vitamin C and azelaic acid in the mornings, and then you can do something like retinol and arbutin later. And finally, the other product that has good evidence and is really good and gentle to use is kojic acid. So kojic acid, there is all of these treatments, there's scientific evidence that they work to an extent. You can especially benefit from it if you have slight hyperpigmentation or you have a sort of fairer to lighter to medium skin tone. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work on medium to darker skin tones, but it's just important to know what might be your hero products. With all of these products, they are effective, but there are a few caveats. One, if you're going to try them, make sure you get something that's from a reputable brand. There are plenty of reputable brands across a variety of different price points, from really effective drugstore prices all the way upwards. It doesn't matter what you use. If you're initially trying it, just try and get a product that you like the look of, you like the price of, and see if it works for you. Number two, whenever you're trying a new product, especially actives like this, always patch test them to make sure that you're not allergic and you're not irritated. By patch test, I'll often say put a little bit on your arm or a little bit on your clavicle area here and leave it for 24 hours. And if you have no irritation, great, the product is fine with you. Number three, patience. Patience is so important. If you use any product, you really need to be using them for at least 6 to 8 weeks, but mostly more like 8 to 12 in order to start to see any noticeable effect, and you have to use things regularly. And then finally, just like hyperpigmentation in your face, if you are suffering from hyperpigmentation on your body, you need to make sure that you are getting rid of the cause. So if it's due to a medical illness, obviously, or a condition, treat that. If it's due to trauma, like you're leaning, at your desk a lot and that's causing dark patches on your elbows, you're kneeling on your knees, make sure that you provide protection for your skin and reduce that thing that causes it. And also, if you are out and about in the sun a lot, or just if you're out and about and if you have your skin out, so bare legs or bare arms, whatever it is, make sure that you use sunscreen. Firstly, that will stop the hyperpigmentation from being worse. Number two, it's going to protect you from skin cancer. It's a win-win all round. So anyway, I hope you found this video useful. Please let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these ingredients or any of these treatments and what your experience was, if you have any questions about this topic or anything else, and if you have any suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, stay beautiful.